Start. Hello. Hi, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi, good to see you here. Type in the chat who you are, where you're from. Good to see everybody this morning. We're going to let everybody get in here so we can see you. Great to see you. Hey, Marty. Type who you are in the chat, what you've been working on this week, where you're from. Love to see. Hey, Liz. Good morning. Liz, excited to see you in San Antonio later this year. That'll be so fun. Hey, Kim. Good morning. Hey, Andrea.
Uh,
Glad you're here. Okay, Marty, are you going to be at the GPA Summit here in November? Because it's going to be on the Riverwalk. Hey, Brittany. Hello, Dante. Good to see you. Great to see everyone. Yes, the Riverwalk is a lot of fun. Lots of great Tex-Mex food, good stuff going on. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. What a day. Awesome. Letting everybody kind of get in here before we get going. Excited you're here today. Excited to talk about all these fun new things in Grant Frog that we've been working on. The content library, Lily AI. You get extra points if you can guess where we got the name Lily AI. Hey, Mary, good to see you. Liz, look at y'all. Oh, y'all are too smart. Yeah, lily pad. That's exactly right. Awesome. Well, it's great to see everyone this morning. Hey, Michelle. I'm excited you're here today. We'll kind of go ahead and get started. Barbara, you made it. And really just excited you're here because we are thrilled to talk about the new grant content library in Grant Frog and Lily AI, the new grant writing assistant. Um, Chris and I have been working on it for a couple of months now, so it's so awesome that we've finally been able to get it out there to you. And I'm excited to tell you about it today so that you know why it's we built it and you know what the reasoning behind it was, how you can use it for your grants, and how I'm just so excited. I think you're going to love it. So, a little introduction. I'm Hannah Wigginton, the founder and CEO of Grant Frog, and I started Grant Frog after years as a grants director. And I'm going to let Chris, this is Chris Spagnuolo. Go ahead,
Yep,
Chris.
Chris, co-founder and CTO at Grant Frog. Been working with Hannah for over a year now, and just excited to be able to take her great ideas and make them reality in the product.
Yeah, awesome. Exactly. Yeah. So, Chris has been working hard on this. He is now kind of doing all the tech side of this, and I just get to talk to you and tell you about all these cool things we're working on. And really just want to start by saying thank you to all of our customers for your trust in us and for using Grant Frog. Thrilled to have you on board and hope we can just continue to make it better for you. So, just reach out to us when you have anything you want to share, any feedback or any love too. So today I'm going to jump in. We're going to talk a little bit about Lily AI, the grant assistant, and really why a grant content library, this new feature we've built into Grant Frog, is so important and really why it's one of the best things that you can do for your grants and your grants process. So let's go ahead and jump into the why. And then we're going to get into the demo and I'm going to show you some neat ways that you can use the grant content library and how you can use Lily AI in your own grants process and how that works. All right. And as we go into this, feel free, type in the chat. I'm watching this. We can answer your questions and let us know anything that you have on your mind as well. Okay. So, really want to talk about Lily and why a grant content library, why this is so important. And I've just been wanting to build it, and we finally got this. So, let's see if I can get this to change. So, really, one of the things is that I've been a grants director for many years, and years ago, built my own grant content library, and it's an absolute game changer for your grant work. So, if you've been doing grants for a little while, you probably have your own version of this, and maybe I'm just putting a name to it and what it's called. And this is really all of those things that you gather for all of your grants. So yeah, let me know kind of what you might be doing, maybe Word, things like that, where you're getting all these pieces of your grants together. So years ago, I created this grant content library, and honestly, it just changed the way I did grants. I felt so much more organized. I could work on a grant with no issues. And so now I'm excited that we can bring it into Grant Frog so that you can create your grant content library as well. Yes, the master document, the common documents, all things like Liz mentioned, I bet you have your own. So let's talk about what is a grant content library. So these are all of your organization's reusable grant narratives. This is everything about your organization, your story. It's your mission, the history, your goals, your program overviews, your evaluations. These are things that you are sending on grant applications over and over again. And if you've done more than a few grants, you know that you don't want to type this out new every time you work on a grant. And so these little pieces, these little nuggets, the budgets, the overviews and things like that, it's so much better to create all of this and have these templates ready in your grant content library. So when you're working on grants, it's not starting from a blank page every time. A lot of the times, maybe you're used to saving all of your grant information in multiple Word documents and multiple folders in your storage drive. Maybe you have some stuff in emails. Maybe someone else at your organization has this saved in their information, or they just know this in your head. So you have to reach out to them every time that you're working on a grant. And so, what you're able to do with the grant content library is pull all of that together. So instead of having to do what I call the work before the work, you're able to keep this all together and not have that chaos of trying to piece everything together when you're working on a grant or a grant report. So, why is your content library worth building? Well, multiple reasons. Number one, it helps you fill out those grant applications more efficiently. This is that information that you're going to be using anyway on a grant. And so you want to have it all in one place. It's going to save you time, not having to go find this person and this person who's got this information. You have it already in one place. You're able to complete your grant applications much more efficiently because you have it all there in one place. It also allows you to have a consistent voice across the organization, your narratives, how you speak about your mission, your clients that you help. And so this allows you to bring all of that together. There's consistency across how you're presenting yourself to your funders, and you have that same language for your organization and organization wide. Applying to more grants. And I like to caveat that by saying applying to more of the right grants. So when you have everything ready and there is a grant that comes across your desk that you say, wow, I think this might be the one that we need to apply for, you're ready for it. You have your content library ready, you have those important pieces of that, and you're able to piece that together, build that grant, send that grant application with more efficiency. And, ready for short deadlines. Have you ever come across a grant or been told about a grant that was due in maybe a couple of days or a few days? Because I have multiple times. And so having this ready, it's not always that you can complete this grant quickly on this deadline, and it may not be the right fit. But if it is the right fit, you want to be prepared. And so you're able to do that when you have your content library ready. So, what do you want to include in this content library? Well, there's a big list of things, and I'm just going to touch on some of them that I think are kind of the most important pieces that you need to be saving. And you'll be able to save all of these in Grant Frog now. So these are your program descriptions, your issues that you address, and the need that your organization, who you help, your history, your mission, your common documents like your financials, your budgets, your program budgets, your agency budget, all of those different pieces, your list of board members, your list of grants, which is easy to pull when you're using Grant Frog. Any collaboration, the community need. I mean, these are those things that when you're working on a grant application, you are filling these out every time. Everyone's a little bit different, but most of the time, these are the pieces that you're pulling together. So these are the things you need to have. And I will send you, I have a full checklist as well. I'll send you that after this presentation today so that you have that and you can know how to start building that. So how do you set it up? Well, we're going to go over that in Grant Frog in just a minute. But really just starting from your past grants. So you're going to start pulling together maybe a few grants, pulling all those pieces out, your program, your mission, all of those common things, and you're going to start putting that into Grant Frog. You'll be able to sort it by type. You'll be able to organize it in folders in Grant Frog. And also just saving multiple links of your narratives and tracking your impact stories. And so we're going to go over that in Grant Frog because that is where, if you've been used to using it in Word documents, I'm going to show you here in a minute a little trick. You'll be able to import from Word. And as you're working on a grant application, you'll be able to have Grant Frog open on one side, have this grant application, copy, paste, fill it out, and you'll be able to complete those applications. We'll get into more about adapting your content for every funder because obviously some of these content library pieces, you're going to change them a little bit depending on the grant application and the funder. And then we'll talk about keeping it up to date as well. And just again, why it matters because I want to save you time. I want to help you be more efficient. I want you to be able to have all of your grant information in one place. So that's an overview of the grant content library and why I think that it is really just so important. So let's jump in here to the actual grant content library in Lily AI inside of Grant Frog. All right. Now, if you have kind of your own version, let me know kind of what that looks like for you as we get into this, because I want to talk about ways that you can start building your content library in Grant Frog, how that works, how you can get this information in here. All right. So from here, some of those more important pieces of the content library that I talked about, you can see over here in my menu. You can access content library over here in the main menu in Grant Frog, and then the Lily AI Grant Writing Assistant. There is a quick access menu here where I will show you a little bit more about this later on how to work in Lily and how that works. So if you've ever used AI at all, this is that and then some. So I'm really excited to get into that. But if you see here, we have our executive summary, we have a cover letter, we have a statement of need, the mission. So these are all things that you're going to start putting into your content library and building out. We have added really this full text word editor in Grant Frog. So if you've been used to writing your grants in Google Docs or Microsoft Word, this is really a great way to start writing inside of Grant Frog. And you can also connect it to your grants. And I'm going to get into that in just a second. But just having this in here, being able to write inside Grant Frog, work on your grants, and saving all of those pieces in here is super helpful. So I want to point out a couple of things too. it has a word count and a character count. So raise your hand if you've ever been limited by a grant application that told you you could only use 10 words for the project overview, be succinct, be brief, and it just absolutely makes such exactly like so many times you have to rewrite it or 300 words or 300 characters and you're going, wait, I know there's 300 characters in there. So this is something that I said, oh, we've got to have this from the get-go. Like we've got to have character count. So that makes it easy. So I just want to point that out too. So as you're starting your content library, you're starting to add these pieces in here. This mission, you're able to organize it by tags. So you can create your own custom tags on these as well. And then you can also organize it by folders. So if you see here, I've got general, and then I have the lion enclosure project. So in my demo here, we're actually the Clarkstown Zoo. So you're going to notice several zoo related information here and how that works. So I have it segmented by this project, the timeline, the budget, things like that for that content. So as you're starting to build your library, you can click add content up here so that you can just start a blank page. You can also import from Word. So if you do have Word documents, you can also just import those directly in here and it will create that content piece. So let's jump into how Lily works. So Lily is the grant focused AI grant writing assistant. And what we've done is we've got a couple of layers of grant focused language inside the tool inside of Lily. But also, Lily is able to use your own context. So, another reason why this content library is so important is that as you start writing and maybe you need to edit some with a Lily or create a new paragraph, you're able to attach context from your mission, your project overview, all of those things. So it feeds that into there as well. And you can pull all those pieces together. It's then going to give you something that sounds like your language and the way that your organization, how you want to portray that. And so Lily uses a grant context and your own context to produce something new as well. So I'm going to just show you a quick one of the pre-assists. So we have several pre-built um, uh, content generation. So an executive summary, we have a cover letter. There's several more on that. And so the way that you can use Lily is a couple of different ways. If you use Ask Lily right here on this button, it will actually use the context from this document itself. So you'll be able to see that from here, and it's going to use this context. So then we're going to click Ask Lily, and you're able to edit the current content. You can rewrite something, and this is if you just need to reword it just a little bit so that it sounds a little different. You can enhance it, which in a sense improves it some. So you have a couple of those options. You can also proofread the entire page. So this is really useful to point out several things. And so you're able to do that. You're able to add the executive summary, grant titles, project summary, project description. I have some secret ones right now called an overly caffeinated editor and the Ribbit one, but you don't have those yet. But if you want those, you just let me know and I'll put them into your account. Okay. So these are kind of fun too. So those are several ways to do that. Great question, Brittany. So one question she has is, can you collaborate in the content library with other users if you're writing with others? So right now, what you'll be able to do if you have other users inside of Grant Frog, you can work together on the content library. You can write with things. The only thing that it's not going to do is point out, okay, hey, Brittany edited this or so-and-so changed this. So right now you'll just need to maybe make a note in there and say, hey, this is what I'm working on. But you're able to share this specific link here. So this is a unique link to that specific document in Grant Frog. So you're able to, maybe tag that on a task and say, hey, can you review this grant content here? All right, so let's go ahead and generate an executive summary based on this. It's the African Lion Habitat Project. We're going to go ahead and ask Lily, and we're going to click Executive Summary. So what she's going to do is create this information here and create an executive summary based on this entire project here. So uses some of the same language, some of the information in here to generate this information. So from here, you can click Insert. If you're not a fan of what it output, you can click Try Again, or you can discard this. So there's several ways that you can do this. So we'll go back up here. It's going to retype that again. You can click stop also if it's going a little too far, but then you can click insert and now you have that information here from the executive summary. Several other ways that you can use Lily. If you just want to start something new, so you can click Write with Lily and you'll get this little box here. And the default here is custom. And from here, this is where you can ask it something specific. So maybe you want to say, okay, write a sustainability paragraph or write a thank you letter to this or write a different kind of overview. So this is where if you're used to using an AI, this is where you can input your own questions. So in this one, we'll say, write a project overview. Now, what's neat about this is I could click create in content library, but I have no context. So it's probably going to put in several placeholders. So we actually add in placeholders for times that maybe it doesn't have the information like the grant request amount and things like that. So you'll be able to add reference material from your library. So this is pretty neat. Now you'll be able to add, let's add the about the zoo. Let's also add this information about the project here and even, I don't know, let's add maybe the timeline. So you can add up to 5 pieces of reference material in this. And then what you do is click create in content library. And so it generates a new page and it says, okay, well, here is your project overview based on everything that you have given me. And for the project overview, I think it's set to put about 5 paragraphs or so, or several sentences. You can see it pulled in several information about the budget here. It pulled in information about the zoo itself. So it used all of that context from those attachments and those references. So again, here you can insert it, try again. You can also click edit prompt if you want to adapt your prompt some and you want to say, okay, well, actually, I needed a project overview about something specific. So several different ways to do that and work with that. Okay, so the other thing is if you access Lily from here, that'll also give you that pop-up there as well. Some other neat things. Let's see if I can get this one to tell me where I've messed up. I'm going to put in just some mess ups here so I can show you the proofread one, which is really nice to be able to have and see. So let's go, we're going to proofread this here and it's going to look at everything. So it tells me my spelling errors. This one actually tells me no grammar, punctuation, tense, tone. Hey, okay, this was a great one. Well, other times what it'll do is it'll tell you, hey, you might want to think about the tense on this or the tone or the formatting. So it really tries to present you with several different options of things that you might look at to review. So we're going to discard this one so that we don't want to see that proofreading anymore. We'll also try the grant title suggestions. So it looks at this same document again, and it gives you some suggestions for your actual grant title here. Okay, so I am also just going to show you this one for fun because, oh my goodness, the overly caffeinated editor really goes through and gives you some great feedback some tough love, but some good points too. So this one's also fun, just kind of using these as well to really evaluate your grant here. I'm going to give it just a minute. He had a lot to say about this, a lot more than the proofreading. Okay. And he is still going. Okay. This is the last paragraph here. What would help the most? Here's where you think you really need some help. Insert. Okay. So, there's several different options here for using Lily AI. All right. Liz, are you saying, oh, on the overly caffeinated editor? Yeah, that's because I haven't made it live. So if you want that, let me know. All right, let's get back into this. Now, here's where we're going to go next. I'm going to show you how to do a grant with a content library. So I'm going to jump over here to a grant, and I am going to just click on one of these grants here that I'm managing in Grant Frog. Now, on this grants page here, you now have this new content tab over here. And this is where you're going to be able to write your grant and use your content library at the same time. You can organize this by folders as well, but you'll be able to see all of this information. So I started a piece of a grant right here. So I'm going to click on this. Now, notice I am inside this grant. It's telling me this is related to this operational excellence grant now. So I'm working on this specific grant. I have started this already, but maybe it's one of those things here. I have my overview, but maybe I haven't added my mission here. So you can see the content library over here on this side. So all of those same pieces that you've already added in are here. So I'm going to add my mission to this grant that I'm working on. So you come over here, you can actually drag this directly into the document. So once you do that, it brings in that entire document text into the grant itself. So this is where you get into those customizations per funder, per grant application, is you're able to start this blank page and you can write some things that you need specific to this funder, but you're able to use all of these pieces from your grant content library and build that grant out based on that. So this is really useful once you kind of get in there and maybe you want to say, okay, this is specifically what we sent to this funder, and you have that directly related to your grant. So again, I go back to the grants, I click on the content tab, and I can see this. I'll even add a new one here. And I go back to this page. I've got a brand new one. Again, I can ask Lily to write something from here. I can build this out, or, well, let me do that correctly. There we go. Well, maybe I'm not.
That one's empty.
Oh, well, that's a good reason why it wouldn't work then. Okay, well, let's go back to my grant. Then we're going to go to mission. There we go. Good thing Chris is here. I wouldn't know what I was doing here. All right, so we've got that. You can start building that out. If you need to export it, you can export anything as a Word document if for some reason you need to edit it that way. And then as you start writing these and you're working on a grant application, what I suggest is you make this window side by side with your grant application. And so what you're able to do is you're able to click on copy text. Okay, this is our entire cover letter. This is our mission. Copy the text. I'm going to paste it into the grant application as I'm working on it. And you're really able to build your grant application directly from Grant Frog and your content library. So that's how that works as far as building a custom grant with your own context, with your own information. All right. That is really kind of the main overview. I'd love to hear any questions or thoughts you have about this. Love to, continue to improve it, make it more useful. I'm super excited that we were able to get this in here for you because I think if you'll start using this, if you've been using your Google Drive, your Microsoft, your Word, your things like that, if you'll start putting those pieces inside of Grant Frog where you can really build those grants out, you have all of that context right there, those snippets, those templates of information that you have for your grants and as you start writing it. Great question, Rin. She said, how would you recommend organizing it by the grant section, for example, or by the project? So, what I would do is kind of a combination of both on organizing it. I would probably put kind of in this one, I did general. And these are where I would say your mission, your about, your history, things like that. But then I think also getting more into it of different programs or projects, because basically, so at the organization, that I've been at, we had, 4 to 5 different programs. And so each program has their own program description, has their own outcomes, has various different things, stories related to that program. So it could be one of those for the project. This is called project, but you could see that as program as well. You're organizing some of those real specific pieces of the program. So that's probably how I would do that as well. All right, so on the next question, the character count includes spaces. Yes, it does include the spaces. So great question, because they'll get you with that character count there. So yeah, call it if you need to. All right. Does Lily write something? Can you tell her up front what character count or word count you have? So I would say yes, you could if you use the custom prompt. Now, I will tell you that on that, she may not be fully accurate. I think probably is getting will get close. But the thing about the AI, it's hard for some reason to get it exact. So I would try it, test it. It will probably get close. But you may need to do a little bit of editing on that, and you'll be able to see immediately, okay, here's how many words it actually put out. Great question, Michelle.
Yeah, I've seen in general using ChatGPT or Claude, like all the tools still struggle to match character count or word count limits. But as those get better, then ours will improve as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, great question. Someone beginning to apply for grants. Yes, Cindy, great question. I would start building out those pieces of your mission, your programs, and things like that in the content library. That way you'll be able to manage all of that alongside your deadlines in Grant Frog.
It,
Brittany, oh, go ahead, Chris.
oh, and I was just, and the system is for your entire org, not just like a single solo person.
Yes, absolutely. It's organization wide. So any user that you have in Grant Frog is able to work on the grant library. On the specific grants, if you're working on the grants, you'll need to edit the library inside the actual library, not the grant itself. But yes, everyone. Okay, next question. Oh, the Markdown option. Yeah, so great question. If you're familiar with Markdown, it's one of those things that you may not find as useful, but basically it just puts it in a language called Markdown, headings, bullets, things like that. May not be as useful at the moment, but you're feel free to kind of look that up and see what it's about. Okay, can we create prompts in the library? So right now you can create the custom prompts and you can write it in there. We don't have a way where we're saving your prompts just yet. As far as, hey, I put it into the custom prompt here and, we're saving that one specifically. But if you find one that is working really well, then I would create a folder over here called prompts and start saving your own prompts that you think are really great. So kind of a different way to kind of do it right now, but that's a great question, Andrea, because I think later on that's probably something we'll do. So thanks for bringing that up. Oh, look, Tara with the tips, tell it to count spaces. When I do that in Claude, it works 98% of the time better. All right, good tip from Tara here. She says in your custom prompt, tell it to count spaces. So test that out and see how it goes. Okay. Yes, great question. Liz asked, she said, you mentioned we are not training AI. So, yes, this is really important. So, we connect right now, we use Anthropic, which is multiple different LLM models, and we use their commercial API, which does not use your data to train their models. And we don't use your data to train any models either on GrantFrog's side. So, your data is sent, it's used to output what you've requested, and then it's gone. So it's not used to train anything. And that's a great question. We want you to feel like your data is safe with us and you can trust that it's not being used for anything like that. Yes, great thought, Barbara. As far as Grant Frog and just the fact that you're able to use the content library together with managing your grant deadlines and having that all in one place. And we have quite a few customers on here, and I think they would tell you the same is that just being able to use Lily AI, use the content library, but really in context of your grants as a whole in your grants program. You can manage everything in one place. If you've been ever felt overwhelmed by all of your grants and are not sure if you're going to miss a grant report deadline or a grant deadline, Grant Frog really changes the way you do that and multiple ways that you're able to manage your grant. So reach out to us if you're interested in learning more. I'd love to talk to you. All right. I think that's kind of the overview today. Chris and I will stick around for a little bit more, and I will send you some info after this. And we're excited to share this with you. Feel free to reach out if you have more questions about Grant Frog or the content library or Lily AI, hoping to continue to make it better, adding more of those assist prompts so that you have ways to start. So thank you everyone for being here. Super grateful. We'll stick around for a little while if you have any questions. Thank you,
And by the way,
Brittany.
that was a first for me seeing the overly caffeinated editor prompt. So I don't even have that in my account. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, what's great about having a CTO, he can set it up to where I can create some of these prompts and then put them on my demo. And so, all right, Liz, I'm going to put it on your account. I'm going to put the overly caffeinated editor, maybe the Ribbit one too. So, yeah, tons of fun. Hoping to continue to make it better. Thank you, Karen. It was so good to see you. Glad you're here. Thank you, Brittany.
There's a question about the recording.
Oh,
Will
the
this be
record. Oh,
available?
sorry, I missed that one. Yes, this is recorded, so I will send that out to you after this, along with the grant content library checklist. Oh, hey, Marty, good question. No, yeah, about are we training AI? Yeah, great question. So we use Anthropic's commercial APIs, and through that, your data is not used to train any LLM models, and we don't train it at Grant Frog. So your data is safe, and you can use it, and it's sent to the Anthropic, and it's sent back to you just based on what you output, and it's not used to train any models. Great question. Yeah, I'm if you have some requests too on some custom prompts that you want us to add or something specific, I have a list of several more that are that I want to do. I even thought of one yesterday as I was actually working on a grant. So, um on the question, is it training it with in Grant Frog? Oh yeah, Marty. So basically it doesn't train it, but you can use it for context when you create something. So let me just show you real quick how that works. So it can use your own content to actually create things. So if we go here and let's go ahead, we're going to say just write with Lily. And we want an executive summary. And then right here, you have the option to add reference material from your library. So this is where it uses your own language, your own organizational context. So if I put this here, I'm going to put the about the zoo. I also want to say, okay, I'm going to use this project. And we're going to use these two pieces of context to help generate this executive summary. So then you say create in content library. And from there, it's going to use all of that context to pull that together. Yes, great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that
Super
so
cool.
cool? I love it. It just makes it even more useful because it uses your information. So, super helpful to use that as well. Great question. Let's see. I'm also, since we're still here, and if anybody has questions, but another one I created is this ribbit one because I mean, we've got to be on brand frog here. So, um, ribbit, he is just an old, not crotchety frog, but he's a wise frog and he reviews your grant content to make sure that you're making good choices and he tells you where you're doing great on this and then tells you maybe what you should think about too. Um, so he talks about you've named your numbers and your years. This old frog approves, things like that. So we'll sneak some of those in there every now and then.
Thank you, Heather. That's
Uh,
very nice.
oh, thank you, Heather. You're awesome. Marty, great question. Do they use Grant Frog for prospecting, keeping track of corporate giving, sponsorship, and grants? Yes. So you're able to use funder intelligence here. So with that, you're able to research foundations, find grants, things like that. So you can look at it by the foundation name if you know it, but you can also do some keyword searches. So specifically to your organization, you're able to do a search like that. So there's different ways to kind of prospect. You can also do grant recipients. So if you know an organization that's similar to you, you can look up their actual name and see who is funding them, what foundations. And so let's say you did find one who was a good option on this page. I can't believe that's one I had in there already. Let me find a different one here. So if I went to this, I can click Save to Funders. That'll save that prospect directly into your own list. You can start your grants process. And yes, to the answer of your corporate giving and sponsorships, a lot of people also use that because most of the time, as a grants person, that falls on you to fill out those applications for sponsorships. So, yes, it's also a great way to do that as well. How did I get the ribbit? That's because Heather, I'll add the ribbit to your account. It's not live yet. It's only live on my account. Uh,
Your secret prompts are
I know
popular.
my secret prompts. I'm gonna put those on some people. Yes, Andrea, I'm gonna add ribbit and overly caffeinated editor to yours. Okay, Chris, you're gonna have to help me remember this.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't y'all know we're gonna put some Easter eggs in here because grants are serious and very important, but you know what? We're also here to have a little fun too. So I'm always up for wise help. Who doesn't need a wise old frog helping them with that? Oh, love it. That's awesome. All right. Well, reach out to us if you have anything else. And so glad to see everyone today and let us know. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.